Hello everyone. Many Excel users tell me that they only use sum function, if function, and at most VLOOKUP function, though they know there are lots of advanced functions in Excel. So I have always been thinking what prevents them from adopting advanced functions and formulas and freeing themselves from tedious, repetitive, and error-prone manual work in Excel. Here I would like to share with you my findings. First, most Excel users still didn't realize to which extent advanced functions and formulas could drastically change their daily work, like automating their spreadsheets. They don't know how powerful it could be. Second, we have to admit that building formulas is not easy. There is a learning curve, especially for novice Excel users. Today, I'm happy to present you AutoExcel, which addresses exactly these two obstacles. AutoExcel is an open source library of functions that we started to build. The project aims to build practical, useful, handy, fundamental, and powerful functions that even Excel novice users could directly use to automate manual works. It's one of the first open source libraries written in Excel formula language and Lambda function. In the first version, 0.1.0, there are 29 functions. Let me show you some of them by real-world examples. Let's start with a simple task. It happens very often that we have a header and a list of data below it. The data and the length of the data can change from time to time, but we want to get these data no matter how many they are. To achieve this, we could simply write equals a.extend e4, where a.extend is a function of AutoExcel, and e4 is the cell of the header. As the blue borders show, the function returns exactly this data we are interested in, no more, no less. The result of the formula changes as the source data change. Then we could apply other calculations to them, such as counting their number, etc. Similarly, it may also happen that we have a label and a row of data on the right of it. The width of the data can vary with time, but we could always obtain this data by a simple formula, equals a.extend b5 1, where 1 specifies the direction to the right. Now let's look at a more complicated example. Imagine that you receive a workbook from another team every week. Unfortunately, the position of the data in the workbook may change. For instance, in the workbook of last week, the headers were in row 4, but in the workbook of today, the headers are in row 5. But what you are interested in is always the data under header 3, no matter where header 3 is. So you could write in your workbook equals a.locate.range by text header 3 sales data .xlsx sheet 1 A1 to I10, where sales data is the name of the workbooks they send to you, and A1 to I10 is the range where header 3 must appear. Then the function will find out the header 3 and returns the data below it for you. So as long as you implement such a formula, no matter where header 3 is week after week, the formula always locates the exact range. This is how you build fully automated spreadsheets. Similarly, if you want to get the data on the right of label 3, you could write equals a.locate.range by text label 3 sales data sheet 1 A1 to F20 and 1, where A1 to F20 is the range where label 3 appears for sure, and 1 is the direction of the extension. This function has many parameters you could tune. For instance, you could include the label by setting the include origin to true. When we design AutoExcel, we try to make sure that every parameter is relevant, and tuning these parameters makes a function powerful enough to suit all your daily needs. Automation of spreadsheets comes down to manipulating, searching, and positioning data in two-dimensional arrays, which are a particular form of spreadsheets. Actually, the lookup and the reference category of Excel built-in functions is dedicated to that. For instance, this category contains the famous XLOOKUP, XMatch, dynamic array functions like sort and unique. The functions of this category are very powerful, but their power is so underexploited by most Excel users due to the learning curve. AutoExcel aims to continue to extend functions in this category and make functions that can be easily used to address different real-world use cases. For instance, built-in XMatch and XLOOKUP searches always one single value in an array, whereas a.xmatch.rows and a.xlookup.rows provided by AutoExcel can search one row in an array. For instance, in this formula, a.xmatch.rows searches E3 to F3 in table B3 to C7, compares it to each row, and returns the position where it matches. This can't be directly achieved by the built-in XMatch function. In the end, elementary functions for compound data types such as array and set are exposed as well. They are elementary to build the functions of AutoExcel. They can also benefit Excel users. For instance, basic set operations like union, intersect, difference are often needed in daily work. When the source data change, formulas with these functions of AutoExcel always return correct results. To add the AutoExcel library to your workbook, you could use the Formula Editor add-in. If you don't have Formula Editor yet, you could add it from the add-in store. Click on Insert menu, Get Add-ins. Type Formula Editor. Enter. Add. Agree. Continue. Then you will see a menu Formula Editor appears. Click on the button Libraries. In the task pane, select AutoExcel. Then you will see the page for AutoExcel library. Click on Add. Now the functions are added. As a result, in a cell you could type equals a dot. Here you see all the functions of AutoExcel are available. You could also check these functions in Name Manager. Here you see all the functions and their function body by Lambda function. The advantage of managing libraries by Formula Editor is to have a version control. If there is a new version of the library, you will be informed. If you accidentally modify a function or delete a function, and it's not same as the original version, you will see a warning here, and you could re-add the library. So the version 0.1.0 of AutoExcel contains 29 functions. The documentation on our website is coming soon. In the meantime, you could refer to the source file autoexcel.txt to see the list of the functions, their purpose in the comments, their arguments, and their function body, of course. Traditionally, people use VBA to automate spreadsheets. Some people may use Python, some people may use JavaScript, but they are very few. Since Lambda function was introduced and Excel formula language became a full programming language, what Excel formula language alone could achieve became endless. Defining Excel functions in Excel formula language rather than in other languages has lots of advantages. For instance, it's more integrated. Writing robust code is easier. Formula language is compact, smart, and cute. But as the entire ecosystem is new, Not many good examples are out there. AutoExcel is one of the first libraries written in Excel formula language. We could foresee that many libraries for different businesses and fields coming soon. And AutoExcel is open source. It means that not only all the code is public, people could see how each function is coded, but also everybody can contribute to the project. You could report bugs, tell us what you want the library to achieve, make suggestions. Feel free to open an issue here and let's discuss. So I invite you to give AutoExcel a try and let's make fully automated spreadsheets.